Good morning. Good morning. I'd like for you, I want to introduce you, Christians. I want to introduce you to your God. Yes, that's what I said. I want to introduce you to your God. This is your God. This is who you worship. This is Pope Leo, now presiding Pope. This is your God. He's a God of Christianity. He's the God of Sunday. And because God, Big G, is the presiding God of Saturday, Sabbath. That's his day. He's decided I'm going to change times and dates, and he's going to change your worship time from God's Saturday Sabbath to Sunday. Meet your God that you're going to see in hell. Trust me, you're going to see him in hell if you stay with Sunday worship and not do God's commandments. If you love me, God says, Big G, if you love me, you keep my commandments. If you don't keep his commandments, you're a liar. If you don't keep my commandments, you're a liar. This is your God. This is who you worship. Why do you think they went and got us? I'm going to give you a little history lesson. Why do you think they went and got us? He's the head of everything. He was the first beast. First beast was Europe. Esau. First beast was Europe, all of Europe. Roman, Greek, all of that. Alexander the Great, all of that. Took over Africa. That's why you got all these Argentinas and all of them are light-skinned Argentinians and all the rest of them, Venezuelans, all of them are light-skinned because Alexander the Great, European, from I think it was Spain. I think he was from Spain. But they went and took over Africa. And they made sure they were racist. They made sure they were all light-skinned. God said, my hidden ones are all over. You go to these Venezuelan countries, you go to Japan, you go to Russia, you go anywhere, there's a black hidden society within that group who was the indigenous. And still is. And they hide them. And they put these white Venezuelans, these white Indians, these light-skinned Indians, these light Venezuelans, these light-skinned Hawaiians. Hawaii was black people, not light-skinned Hawaiians. Everybody that's messing with us is getting thrown out. They're gentrifying all of Hawaii. It's too rich now for the Hawaiians. Now it's just white folk. They throw out the Hawaiians, the light-skinned ones. Everything was black. Not just Africa. Everything was black. India, black. Japan, Confucius, Buddhist, black. Everything is black. White people can't have black people. Black people can only have white. So we are the mothers and fathers of the world. history lesson. You wondering why I'm saying this? Let's go into a little Daniel history lesson. Now, Daniel, turn off the music here. Daniel, remember the Daniel statue? Do you remember it was the head of gold? That's Babylon. Okay? Iraq. Babylon is in Iraq. It's in Iraq. Okay? Get that together. You know where Iraq is. We had that great war there a few years ago. And throughout that, what's his name? I forgot the leader's name, but they hung him. Okay? That was a head of gold. Right? Okay, now you have the arms and the chest of silver, the Medes and the Persians. These are the Iranians that we're fighting today and the Iraqis. The Iranians and Iraqis, the Medes and the Persians. Okay? Then you have the thighs of brass. You have the Grecians, the Greek. Remember I told you Alexander the Great? Remember I told you that, right? Let's keep going. The legs of iron. Rome. Western Rome. Okay? The legs of iron. See the iron legs? You got to understand that's Rome. That's European. That's your God, the Pope. And he's been the Pope of the first beast. The first beast was the Pope. He lost church and state. Now he's just a church. Because Napoleon Bonaparte went in, grabbed his tail after he done massacred hundreds of millions of people, and threw his tail in jail because he had the army to whoop him. Napoleon Bonaparte whooped him and threw his tail in jail. Now he had a great wound. The first beast had the wound. Remember that. The first beast, what is the beast? The beast is a state, a nation. What is that? What is the beast of America? An eagle. They're talking about the beast. That's what John the Revelator saw. He saw these great nations, but he saw the beasts on those flags. And so it's not for everybody to know, just people that study. That's why you don't understand. He saw the Russian bear. He saw the Medes and the Persians. And he saw the what do they call Medes and Persians. He saw their leopards. He saw the Babylonian leopards on the flags. That's the beast. That's a nation. And so now, think about now, the head of gold, Daniel was there. Jesus was the king of the lose. The lose. Okay? I hope you know what I'm talking about. You got to have a little sense here. I'm not teaching kids right now. I'm not teaching young people right now. I'm teaching people that read the Bible a little bit. Daniel was our great-great-grandfather uncles. He was our uncle. He was our grandfather. This was us there. And we built it. We built everything. We made them a superpower. Then the arms and chest of silver, the Medes and the Persians, the Iranians and the Iranians and the Iraqis, we were there because they took us from Babylon. They whooped Babylon and they took us. So we were there. They're the superpowers of the world. Oh, the devil started putting two and two together. The thighs of brass. The Greeks and the Persians Empire. You can even see in the history books that the Greeks stole us. The Greeks stole us. Okay? The legs of iron. Rome. Superpowers. Greek was a superpower under Alexander the Great. He whooped and conquered the world. Western Rome. The feet of iron, the legs of iron, and the feet of iron. That means he's going to be in the last days because he's down at the feet now. When you go down this statue, it's all the superpowers that had us. Western Rome. You see what I'm saying? Superpower. Because they had us and we built it, we invented it. Everything that they're happy about, that made America great, we as Black Americans built it all, invented it all. From refrigeration to your game boards that you play all the time, to heating, got you to the moon, so-called. Three Black women, Western. All of them stole us, our grandparents, our uncles, our grandmothers, and mothers. They stole us. And now we're at the Western Rome superpower. All of these were superpowers with us, Black people, Black Americans, our ancestors. The feet of iron and clay. America with Black Americans. Superpower of the world. All were superpowers of the world in their day. All were superpowers of the world in their day. Black Americans. Now think about it, the feet of iron. Look at the feet. It says in the Bible, the feet is of iron. Who is iron now? Oh, Western Rome. The Romans that got us now, the same Romans that held Jesus Christ, the same Romans that can only crucify slaves. They couldn't crucify Roman citizens. So somebody's lying to you with all these white folk on these crosses. You have to be the worst of the worst to get on the cross, and you white. And so now listen, the feet of iron and miry clay. Now the iron is Rome, right? Your God, nation. And I am the potter, you are the clay. This is so simple. I don't understand why people don't understand this. Christianity and the real people of God will not mix. Christianity and the real people of God will not mix. America with Black Americans, the real people of God, we will not mix with Christianity. And the Black people that are not who they supposed to be, They're supposed to be, Jesus is the king of the, that's who you are. But you decided, I'm going to be Christian because we were fooled. We were fooled by Christianity and these great white preachers that even African Pentecostals go after. We were taught about all of these white preachers. And so and the black preachers took on what the white people were teaching. And now all our Pentecostal preachers are white infused. And so when that first beast, which was Rome, that sits on 7 hills, and the Bible said it sits on 7 hills, the first one was Rome. Napoleon went in, threw his tail in jail. He had a deadly wound to his head, to the head. The Pope is the head. He had a deadly wound to the head. The Pope is the head, threw his tail in jail. He died. Now he don't have church and state. He only have church now. He only has church. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? The feet of iron and miry clay. A mixed up Christian people because it's miry because we don't know who we are. It's miry. We're Christians. No, we're not Christians. Jesus is the king of the, that's who we are. The real ones. But we think we're Christians. You're going to go back. You're going to go back, people. You're going to go back to who you were. You're going to go back to your first love. Not Jesus Christ, the first Babylon. The first Babylon. You're going to go back, people. You're going to go back. The Christians are going back to the head of gold, which had every evil thought and way that we have today. Every evil thought and way that we have today. You're going back, Christian church. We are the clay. I am the potter. You are the clay. The iron, the Christians are going to go against the real people of God. The Christians are going to go against the real people of God. The Christians are going to go against the real people of God. You better understand. Now let me tell you here. Look here. Kenneth Copeland, Christian Pentecostal, who taught all of us. Revelation 17:5. The harlot Pentecostals returning to their mother. Who's your mother? The first beast. The first nation that turned against Christ. That's fake Jesus Christ. The God of this world. The Pope, the God of this world, who you are. Your Father, your love. Your love. Here's your God, Christians. This is your God, and he's God of Sunday. And you're going to go back to him. He's the God of Sunday. You are fool. And God says, you got to throw your tradition down. When you hear the truth, it's too late for you. If you decide to stay where you are, you're going to die. And I'm sorry for you. I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to teach you the best I can. If you stay with your father, you're going to die. Your father of Sunday. Your father of not doing the 10 Commandments. You are going back. And you're going to return to your mother, which is the Catholic Church. Let's turn to Revelation 17. Let's go to Revelation 17. Let's go to let's go to Revelation 17. Yeah. Okay, let's read uh 3, I think, through 14. 3 through 14. So he carried me away in the spirit unto the wilderness, and the spirit unto the wilderness. And I saw a woman sitting upon a scarlet colored beast. You know, they have those, scarlet is purple, I believe. And that's the color of the first pope and the second beast. First beast and the second beast, purple. And I saw a woman sitting upon the scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy. We are God. I am God. The Bible is no longer any good. You have to listen to me. Full of blasphemies. And he's the only one on earth doing these blasphemies. He is the only one. Listen to me. He's the only one on earth because he's the little God doing these blasphemies. Okay? Let me put your God back up there. Read this now. The harlot Pentecostals, I'm not the only one saying it. The harlot Pentecostals are returning to their mother. That's the first beast that killed millions of people. I'm going to put your mother back up, your mother, father back up here. Okay? So he was carried away in the spirit in the wilderness. And I saw a woman sitting upon a scarlet beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The Vatican is on 7 hills. But you don't believe me, do you? You're going to stick with your Sunday. I ain't saying you can't go to church now, but when the beast speak, what's the beast? This nation. When this nation make a law and tell you, I go to church on Sundays. When this beast make a law, which is the nation, right? This nation says, oh, we have to worship on Sunday. We're going to go back to God. Oh my God, you better not step in a church again, and not no Sunday church. Because if you take that mark, when that beast tell you, you have to worship on my day, because this is his day. He says, he told you that Saturday is God's day. He said Saturday's God's day. And it's in the Bible, it's God's day. I'm like, well, I'm confused. Why would the beast tell us that? Why would the second beast tell us that? He said, this is God Almighty's day. He hallowed it and blessed it. Why would the second beast tell us that? He's coming. Why would he tell us that? Because God says that the Antichrist or the devils like to tell you things in secret, and maybe in case God will say, oh yeah, I told them, Lord. I told them. But then they're going to tell you a falsehood. Now remember, we all didn't know what was the real Sabbath. Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. Now the beast has told you. The second beast has told you that Saturday is God's day. Now you have no excuse. None. Now your butt will be on fire if you accept the second beast Sunday. I'm sorry to tell you, but he told you that Saturday was God's day. But he says he's God. And he's above God and he's above the Bible. Blasphemies. Blasphemies. Didn't I just read that? It says here, the beast full of the name of blasphemies, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman arrayed in purple and scarlet and decked in gold and precious stones and pearls and having a golden goblet. They have golden goblets all over the place. In her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication, homosexuality. They're going to tell you, oh, we're going to take a rest. After you done spit on God. I mean, you hawked. You Christians, you hawked on God's day. Because T.D. Jakes and all of them told you that you ain't supposed to do that. Homosexuals telling you that you don't have to do this. And so you got way down on God's day. And you're gonna pay for that. Because when the second beast, your daddy there, your God tells you, we're gonna, the world is getting bad. We need a day of worship. We need a day of worship. And we think Sunday we all should bow down. What was Daniel statue? The nation or the beast told you this is how I want you to worship. And he told you not Jesus Christ, not God Almighty, not the Torah God, not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm going to build something that you bow down to. So now the second beast, what is he doing? He's a nation, the Vatican. He's saying he's saying I'm going to build something when I take over, because all of you Christians are going right back to the second beast. Now, and he's going to go back to church and state, which is power, to force you to worship on his day. And you're going to say, okay, it's God's day. It's God's day. After you done hawked on him, you hawked and spit on God's day that he said, I bless and hallowed. And this man saying he's God. And you believe him. And you think the Pentecostal church is somehow godly. No, they're the second beast's friend. Because they say you don't do the Ten Commandments. You don't have to do God's day. You don't have to obey the commandments. 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. Remember? That first beast, that first pope who Napoleon went and threw in jail, drunk with the blood of the saints. And the second beast is going to be even more drunk. 2/3 of you black people are going to die. It's starting now. The beast is in them. The beast is in our leaders. They're making all kind of provisions for you. They're turning all these Walmarts into prisons. That you think they were stores for you, big stores? No, they're going to be converted into prisons, concentration camps. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. This is 6. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. You're going to admire it because she's going to have all kind of power. Not only is the giants going to come out, but everything out there is going to follow that beast and do what it says do. The giants, the monsters, the ticks, the flies, whatever they're going to throw against you, they're going to come at, and you're going to marvel. You're going to marvel. 7, and the angels unto me, and the angel said unto me, wherefore did thou marvel? I will tell thee a mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which hath the 7 heads and the 10 horns. They're going to pick 10 people to rule this Babylon. 10 rulers to rule this Babylon. The beast that you saw was and is not. That was, Napoleon put him in jail. Now he was not. And shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition, go into serious sins, serious evil, serious destruction. And they will dwell on the earth and shall wonder and shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world when they beheld the beast that was not, that was and was not, and yet is. Now it's coming back. And who's going to be saying all of this? Wondering after the beast. Oh, whose names are not written in the book of life. Because you're going to be following him. You're going to be doing your Sunday. And then all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, he has all the power. He has all the power. You're going to wonder after him. Oh, we love him. You're going to hawk on God's day. You're gonna build that snot up for God and hawk it in his face like they did in the Roman soldiers, the Esau's, the Europeans. They hawked and they spit in God's face like you're doing now. When they had him and they was whipping him like you're doing now. 9, and here it is, the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains. The Vatican sits on 7 mountains. Do you know that? Go look that up. Please go look that up. And you know what? When I tell you the truth, and God said you don't believe the truth, he says he's going to make you believe a lie so that you can be condemned. You see the truth, you will not change because you're too comfortable in your ways. You know, when you change, it hurts. When you change, it's painful. When you change, it's hard work. When you change, your family hates you. But let me tell you one thing. You have to go through that. I went through it. My wife went through it. They hate you. They hate you for what you've done. They call it, you running. Who's running? Who's running? I'm working, I'm living my life. Ain't you living yours? There are 7 kings who have fallen, and there's one, and the other is not yet to come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short time. And it was the beast that was and is not. The beast, see there? Even he is the 8th and of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest, the 10 kings which have received no kingdom as of yet. They haven't got in there yet. Because we're still free. Yeah. We're still free, but it's coming. Can't you tell it's the frog in the hot pan? They say when you get a frog and you throw it in some hot water, it jumps out. But when you put it in cold water, it'll sit there and you can turn the temperature up. It'll sit there until it boils to death. That's what we're doing now. They sitting there and they're taking away every constitution away from us. And now we're just sitting here thinking it's still the same temperature and we're boiling to death. 12, and the 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as of yet, but receive his power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind and have given their power and strength unto the second beast, which is America and the Vatican. We're going to give them our military power to the Vatican. That means it's turning back into church and state. And the Vatican hates Christians. They don't want Jesus Christ. They said, they're God, I'm God, and you're Jesus Christ. You cannot worship him. We are the fake Christians. We are the fake people of God. And I'm going to tell you that you cannot worship Jesus Christ. You have to worship me, your God. 14, and shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For the Lord is Lord of lords and the King of kings, and they that are with him are called the chosen and the faithful. You're going to go through. When you take up the Sabbath, when you take up God, when you take up the ways you're supposed to go, you're going to doggone get a lot of people mad at you. You're going to get your relatives mad at you. They're going to hate you. They're going to turn on you. They're going to spit in your face. They're not going to help you anymore. But God, but God is going to help you. He says he's going to overcome that. He's going to overcome all of that. 15, he said unto me that the waters which thou sawest, which the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. That's America. We are the whore, which is the Statue of Liberty. The great whore sits on all these waters. And it says here the peoples and the multitudes and the nations, all the nations come here. They all come to New York. Ain't that something where the whore sits? That's not a lady with a statue. That's a deity, like they have in Mexico. I think that Puerto Rican or Venezuela got this big Jesus sitting up there. That's not Jesus. That's a idol. 16, and 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and she shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God has put in her heart to fulfill his will and to agree with the kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is a great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. We rule over every king of this earth. There's no king of this earth that can stand up to us. No, not one. There's no king on this earth that can stand up to the United States. We rule over the whole earth. Yes, we do. Okay, let's go here. All right. I'm gonna tell you about your church. Now, I want to show you who your church is. I want to show you I'm not lying to you. I'm gonna show you, and you should check me out. You should check to see if I'm lying. Check everything I say. You hardly people, you Pentecostals, you're returning to your mother. I believe that God has brought me here to this. This is Kenneth Copeland's church. Now I think his back is going out on him or something. He had his bladder busted or something, and his back went out on him. And his daughter-in-law was saying how she hates seeing him in so much pain because of he turned into church. God gave him a great mission to minister to the world with a great church. And he brings these Catholic people in. You know why? Because they gave him money. That's why he said, I'm a billionaire. He gave up God. Esau gave up God for red meat and beans. Kenneth Copeland gave up God, became possessed by the devil because for money. I'm a billionaire. There's only 5 billionaires in the world, and I'm one of them. And he's bringing this Catholic man. And by the way, I'll tell you here later. Church Ministers Conference in the spirit of Elijah. Let me explain. You're going back to your Catholicism. The spirit of Elijah was on John the Baptist to turn the hearts of the sons to the fathers, and to turn the hearts of the fathers to the sons, to prepare the way for the Lord. And we know that prophecy always has a double fulfillment. And we know that Elijah will come before the second coming as well. And I've understood that the spirit of Elijah is the spirit of reconciliation, to return hearts to each other. This is very important. Take back, redeem what belongs to you. We are Catholics. I've come to understand that he died. Sorry to say, he died after this. He died a month or two in a motorcycle accident after this. It's very important that you don't become Catholic. It's a fake religion and that's boasting they are God. He's God. He's boasting he's God, and he died. And Copeland's wife is about to die, and he's about to die. God is going to destroy Copeland for the things he's done. For the things he's done. He don't care. He don't care. Let me show you something. Computer's a little slow. Who is it? Who is it? That's your great leader. That's your Pentecostal great leader. Let me tell you who Catholics are. They're Freemasons. They're the Knights of Columbus. They're Freemasons. They started it. You're going back to your mother. See his hands? See their hands? I used to thought that was just they just holding their hands together. Till I found out it's a Freemason hand grip. It's a Freemason hand grip. That's why you're Freemason. You're going back and you're joining the Freemasons like crazy. You're joining the Freemasons like crazy. That's a Freemason hand. Oh, you don't believe me? Let me show you. This is your minister here, Pentecostals. This is your God that you follow every time he says something. It's crazy Freemason. This is your head. Let me show you. He's a Freemason. He's a Freemason, people. He's a Freemason, people. He's a Freemason. Where's that hand grip at? I'll pass it. You know, I used to put my hand in my shirt like this. Napoleon did that too. He was a Freemason. I used to put my hand in my shirt. I don't know why. Maybe God allowed that. And my boss said, "Why you put your hand in your shirt like that?" His grandfather, his father was a Freemason. My boss. I know nothing about it. Let me tell you, I knew nothing about it. I used to put my hand in my shirt. I used to walk around. When I'm thinking, I just put my hand. God did that to make me understand who these people are. And you know, he wanted to give me and my girlfriend at the time a cabin filled with everything we need. Wanted to give us a cabin. I mean, he didn't say nobody else in the building, just me. And his grandfather kept coming by, telling me hi and talking to me, and I didn't have to work on a lot of those days. He'd come by like twice a week. The boss's father, who owned the building, and he'd come by and joke with me. I'd joke with him about. He was saying he was a Freemason and all. And I said, I heard a little bit about that. I said, what's the secret that they'll cut your tongue out? He said, I can't tell you. I have to kill you. He was kind of joking, but that's their rule. And him, when his father come by, nobody gonna mess with the boss's father. So I sit there and talk to him for a long time, about an hour or two. And my boss come by looking at me, but he can't do nothing because he's the boss's father. He can't say, okay, you get away from him, let him work. I used to put my hand in my shirt like that, not knowing that was a Freemason hand sign. All of these are Freemason hand signs. Let me see here. Maybe I think I'm adding another one here. Remember when they had their hands together? Your God. That's right here. Let me see if I can make that bigger. Let me see if I can make that bigger. I had that on there. Let's see. No, I won't go no bigger. But see how they gripping their hands just like the pastors did? It's a Freemason hand sign, people. It's a Freemason hand sign that he was doing. They gripping their hands together. It's a Freemason hand sign, people. Oh my God. Thought it was down here somewhere. Maybe I was wrong. But people, it's a Freemason hand sign that your pastor was doing right here. Holding their hands together like that. Freemason hand sign. And you know what? Your church, what this is, your church, let me see, is going back to the Pope. And you Pentecostals got to understand something. You know your Pope or your ministers were wearing these fish hats. Don't lie to me, doggone it. You know when you went to the conventions, they were wearing these fish hats because the popes wear the fish hats. Your church is going back to Catholicism. And they're going to take you with them, and you're going to burn in hell. You're going to be tortured first like Jesus. You're going to be whipped by those monsters. Oh, you're just living in a dream. That's a fairy tale. No, you're going to be whipped by monsters. They're called demons. And it's all going to be underground. You're going to be in your underground cave. Everybody got an underground cave because it's hell. Hell is anything below ground. Hell is not real. God owns the lake of fire. God owns hell. Devil ain't got nothing to do with it. Hell is just being underground. God died. They buried him underground. They put him in a cave underground. That's hell. That's all hell is. It's being buried underground. You're going to hell. Because you look at that. Look at that fish hat. What is a fish hat? It's the priest, ancient Dagon, the fish worshiper. That's the fish's mouth. That's the fish's mouth. Right here. See here? They had a fish cut out and put it on their head. A big fish. They worship Dagon. It was in the Bible that the demon, they had when they stole the Ark of the Covenant. And they set it in there with God, the Philistines, I think it was. They set it in there with their God, Dagon. And when they woke up, Dagon fell flat in front of the Ark of the Covenant. And then they picked it up. They said, oh, it fell over. We don't know why. And they propped it up real good. And when they came back the next morning, fell flat in front of the Ark of the Covenant. Dagon, your priests, your people, your love, your backstabbing Freemason pastors and bishops are taking you to hell. And you don't even know it. And you know what? You don't even care. You don't even care. Oh well. I'm trying to tell you, Lord Jesus, just stick a drop of water. Just put a drop of water on my tongue, please. Just put a drop of water on my tongue. And what God say? He said we can't do that. We're not gonna. He said we're not gonna let him. I'm not gonna let him. And there's a great gulf, a GULF. And I told you there's water in the heavens. There's water between us. not space, water. A great gulf. Look up Gulf, not GOLF, GULF. It's water. The man said, "Put that to send Lazarus to put a drop of water on my tongue." He said, "There's a great. I cannot. There's a great. Even if I wanted to, there's a great gulf between us." He's told you there's water in space, not air. It ain't went nowhere. It ain't gone nowhere. He can't get through there, and we can't either. Lazarus couldn't get back to him, and he can't get to him, and we can't get out of this earth. It's a prison for sin. It's a nice prison. They're tearing that up too. Let me show you who you are. Let me show you who you are and who your leaders are. You already showed you they're Freemasons. Didn't God say, God knew that you was going to go to Freemasonry because these fake preachers have shown you that you can't heal, you can't really get to God. All you can do is give your money and be poor and broke and ain't got nothing. They live off you being poor and broke, but working hard and giving them their money. They live off of that. Now you say, there ain't no God, I can't get ahead. And so what's going to happen next? You join the Freemasons, which is a club which help each other, which they're supposed to be doing. You know we wouldn't be poor if the churches spread the money out to the people like they were supposed to. When these churches, instead of buying $54 million jets, they start spreading. Creflo can spread it all over the world, all over America to these black cities, but then they kill him, though. That's one reason you can't help blacks in America without getting slaughtered. But anyway, if the pastors say God and have God in their heart, they help these people. Instead of buying a $54 million jet, they pay their rents. They'll buy hotels. They'll buy condominiums. Put the church people in there for $300 to $400 a month, so they can live, so they can have. We don't need them. All we have to do is do it on our own, but we'll get killed. They set up to kill all of us who helps black people. But they have to trust in God to overcome. Pack old Freemason Catholics. Your churches are packed old Freemason Catholics. Oh, people, I don't know what to do. God gave me this. I'm telling it to you, but you don't believe me. He crazy. But I'm showing you the truth. You see the truth. You ignore the truth. God says, and this is what hurt my heart. This is what hurt my heart. Who is he? Who is hallelujah? Who is he? I used to know him. He was shy. He couldn't talk. When a girl talked to him, he was retarded. Why? God made me that way. Like Moses stuttering. Moses was shy. Oh, he's retarded. They wanted to put me in retarded class because I wouldn't do anything in my work. I wouldn't do my work. I hated everything because I couldn't get out of this super shyness. I wanted a girlfriend. I wanted to live life, but I was shy. I couldn't. Girls asked me out to dinner. Girls asked me to tell them I did. I couldn't. When I was in high school, they was asking me out to the prom. They asked me out, but I couldn't. I was too shy. I hated God for that. I hated God for that. And then my mother was telling me, she said they wanted to put me in because I was getting all these F's and I could care less about school. And then my mother, they tested you, and I was just about 11 or something. They said they tested you, I said, okay, I didn't know what she was talking about. Because they did do tests and stuff at school. They said, you have an IQ of 130. Think about that. But I got F's on my grade card because I hated school. You have to think about something, people. God is letting you go through bad times for a reason. There's a reason you're going through bad times. He's hiding you until the right time. He was hiding me until the right time. And when you put me down as nothing, oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. When you put me down as nothing, they told Jesus, they said, Jesus, uh, don't I know his mama? Don't I know his sisters and his brothers? He's trying to say Jesus is nothing. I know him. You have to be some God that fly out of heaven before I hear what you got to say. They didn't care about Jesus because they knew him. People, God is hiding you until the right time. And you know you see the truth. You know you see your church turning into Catholics. Jump ship. No, do not become a Seventh-day Adventist. That is a cult. They believe Jesus is the Archangel Michael. Come on now. Just do the 7 day, just do the Sabbath that the Bible told you. They didn't say it was for the Jewish people. He said it was for the world. The general offices of our church. I should have left it there because I want you to see your minister, your God, who was a Freemason. And when I had watched one of these conventions before, they even had on the Dagon hats. Why do they hold their hands like that? Why do they hold their hands like that? Because the Catholics do. Oh my God, they have altar boys now. And all these Freemasons have to do sexual. All the Freemasons and sororities, which are damned in their who they are because they had to bow down and swear to another God. They have to do sexual acts, which makes them homosexual, which makes them lesbians. And now you're going to get altar boys like they used to. Those are just young prostitutes for the grown old men. Altar boys in Catholicism was just little prostitutes for the grown homosexual men. That's all your fraternity people and your sorority women are, is lesbians and homosexuals. The acolytes.
serving today, bearing the cross. The Right Reverend Elijah Hosea Hankerson.
But I'm going to finish this. I wanted to see the pastor, but you know he was in there because you was there. You was there. You seen him. You was there. You seen him. You was there. You got to understand that these people are. This is your God. This is your God. This is who you follow. This is who you're gonna give your life to. This is who you're gonna give your Sundays to. This is who you're gonna understand and say, "My God, you're so powerful," because they're gonna get their power back. America's gonna give them all their ships, planes, and bombs, and they're gonna take over the world again because they're gonna release the giants. They're gonna release the giant monsters. They're gonna release the giant mosquitoes. They're gonna release, and the devil gonna have control of all of it. And who can come against me when I got 1,000 giants that reach the sky? Who's gonna come against me when I got 1,000 giants that reach the sky? Who's gonna come against me? Nobody. Not one person is gonna come against you. Not one person is gonna come against you when they got all these giants and shoot thousands. They're gonna have thousands and thousands. Now, who can whoop a giant? Not you or I. And so they're going to marvel after the beast. You're going to marvel after the beast. And the beast is going to take you over because you decided he's stronger than Jesus Christ. But when they see Jesus coming in his glory, all the giants, all the mosquitoes, all the things that's going to eat you alive, all the military men are going to bow their knee down to say, this is the greatest power in the world. It's Jesus Christ. You're going to learn that someday. You're going to learn to get away from your Catholic garbage. You're going to learn they're trying to take you back because they are the power, and men want money. Men are the love of money. Remember that pastor that did that video? He was a video guy. He did a video and he was talking to this lady basketball star. And she said, would you rather have $1 billion or Jesus Christ? Would you rather meet him or say, would you rather have him? I think meet him. And he said, I take the $1 billion. But I'm going to get God 10%. Freemason. Turns out he's a Freemason. Pastor Mike, I think it is, he did a video. Pastor Mike, he's a Freemason. You think God said, my goats, my sheep on the right that are going into my bosom, they're going into my heaven, that the names are signed in the book. You think he's said that the goats are on my left? You think he accidentally said that? Esau was a goat. Esau, in order to fool Isaac, he put goat skins on him. Not sheep skins, goat skins. He's a goat. Europeans are goats. The people that destroyed God is goats. And now you're a goat. Oh, greatest of all time. Fool. God bless you. I love you. I really do. I have no hate for anybody. I want all of us to go to heaven. And God bless you. Please listen to what I'm saying. Please listen, which is more important, to what God is saying. God bless you. I love you.